Yes, guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Jake O'Connor, the High Functioning Addiction podcast. I'm going to explain to you in this video the exact thing that is stopping you from breaking free from your addiction. So stay tuned and yeah, I'll be explaining to you the exact reason why you can't break free from addiction. I want you to just reflect during this episode. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I want you to just reflect on this episode about money. Because I hear money come up in calls time and time and time again, right? And a lot of you that are listening will either be business owners or have a good, successful kind of sales career, or will be working in an office of some kind. You will be a high performer, which I call you guys and girls. And with this, high performance mentality means that we are the creators of our reality, right? Like, I truly believe that if we want something, we can create it, right? We have the universe's best machine right here within our skull and our head, and it's the mind, right? The mind is the thing that creates our reality. We think negatively, we'll see the world negatively. But alternatively, we think positively, we'll see the world positively. And I hear this time and time again about money, not having the money to potentially invest in a program that's going to completely transform their whole reality and change their entire life and trajectory. Sometimes spending so much on cocaine or alcohol, again, simply not having the money to invest in something that will ultimately change their life, their business, their relationships, and everything else in between. And I've been reflecting, like, what is it? And money is a big factor for most people, right? So let's talk about this today. I want to just plant some seeds, and I want you to just think about, what does money mean to you? And hit pause at this moment, grab a pen and paper and a journal, and just reflect on, what does money mean to you? Cool. So I presume you've now reflected on that. And look, nowadays, it is just a number on a screen, right? That's all it is usually. We rarely have banknotes anymore. We usually just have a banking app, and it's just got a digital number, and that's all it is, right? Just a number. And a lot of the time, we spend money on things that potentially won't move the needle forward, i.e. cocaine, alcohol, maybe buying a new car. I don't know, let's say nights out, work, conferences and parties, takeaways, like all of these different components. And it's easily spent on things that don't really push the needle forward. And what I mean by pushing the needle forward is things that aren't going to benefit you as such, going to get you to the next level, that are going to get you to grow. And it comes from messages that we've been fed throughout childhood, right? We've been fed that money doesn't grow on trees. Do you think we're made of money? We can't afford that. Money is the root of all evil. And I watched a banking advert, and they said that that people's money mindset is formed at the age of 7. So again, if you want to hit pause on this and use this as a kind of coaching session here, hit pause at this point and reflect. When was the first message that you received about money? And was it good or was it bad? So for example, at 4 years old, you could have been told that you've got no money and the parents don't have any money to give you for Christmas, for example. Or it may be the opposite. It may be that your parents have actually an abundance of money, and it's not an issue or an object for you. And look, there's a lots of signs that you may have emotional, financially, emotionally charged blockages, right? Here's what it may look like in your world. When you are looking to break free from your addiction, let's say, and you hear the price, and the price is like, no, can't do that. But then go and spend £200-300 a week on cocaine. That's potentially a sign that there's a money mindset issue. When you will happily spend, no, or when you will not spend money on, I don't know, buying yourself a new pair of clothes, for example, or there's this constant feeling of lack that you have to hoard onto money, and that it has to be protected and kept in your bank account, and the money can't go beneath a certain amount in the bank account, and if it does, then you're going to lose it, and it's going to be bad, and stuff like that. Like, that can also be a negative effect and a potential side effect of messages that we've been fed during childhood. And it simply comes from social conditioning, right? We think back to evolutionary psychology, right? 200 years ago, we are in caves and we're trying to find food. And there is a natural scarcity of food in the environment, right? We had to go out and leave the cave, and we didn't know if we were actually going to be bringing home any dinner. So our minds and our nervous system are built for scarcity, right? And the difference between a scarcity mindset and abundance mindset is this. Scarcity mindset is lack. It's, nope, I've got to hoard onto this money. I can't afford to do X, Y, and Z. There's not enough to go around. Money is something that I need to protect and keep hold of, and I can't spend any of it because I'm never going to get any of it back. And then the abundance is, cool, there's enough to go around. Like, I have unwavering faith that what I spend, I can bring back in. And that's really important to understand, because I hear it on a lot of calls, right? A lot of calls, there is that feeling of, I'm not going to get it back in. That we have a finite amount of money. And what I mean by that is a set amount of money, for example, let's say 5K. And when that 5K drops below, we then start getting anxious, or we start feeling like, can I actually get that back? Will I be able to survive? Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to do that? And that's where the mind starts spiraling in this scarcity mindset, right? And that scarcity mindset is going to hold you back. I don't know if anyone listening has ever actually, presumably if you're a business owner, you've probably invested into the business and into yourself potentially. Maybe if you're not a business owner, maybe you've never actually invested in yourself, and that can be scary. I remember myself when I was going through an addiction. I was working in a sales role, and I paid £3,000 for 10 one-to-one sessions. So that worked out at £300 per session. But you see, it's not the hourly rate that we should be looking at. It's not the, my goodness, I've just spent £3,000 on 10 hours of coaching. Like, that's a lot of money, right? We look at the result. If someone had said to me, Jake, do you want to pay me £3,000 and I will break you free from your addiction? You will travel the world. You will build a successful addiction practice that has helped tons of people now. And you can live in your own place, by the water, by the beach, and get to travel the world freely and do work that you absolutely adore on a day-to-day basis. Will you pay me that? I would have bitten their hand off to have paid £3,000. If I knew that someone could get me a result tomorrow that I wanted, I would pay them that money. Because there is an abundance within me now that I know that if investing in myself is number one priority. Because if I'm hoarding onto money, if I'm afraid to spend it or can't let it go, or I'm latching onto it so tight, the universe, whether you're spiritual or whatever way you're inclined, like, the universal law is factual, right? Like, money is energy. If you're holding on to energy and you're latching onto it in lack, your thoughts will be in lack, right? In survival, which then means your world and your reality reflect your inner world, right? So if you're feeling lack and scarcity within yourself, the environment is going to be showing you that to confirm your beliefs, right? So reframe whatever thing you're paying for, whether it's addiction coaching, whether it's, I don't know, doing a course that you feel like you want to do, whether it's investing in a business coach, like whatever it is, think about taking away the time or the hourly cost or whatever it works out to be. If I could pay someone this amount of money and they will get me the result, would I pay it? Yes or no? And it's as simple as that, right? And look, I have made some huge setbacks in my life, right? I was in £10,000 plus credit card and loan debts. I did a 3-year uni course, dropped out after 2 years, didn't even get a qualification, and racked up £26,000 worth of debt. I had 3 close friends die by the time I was 26. I had mental and physical exhaustion and various drug addictions for 5+ years. And these setbacks shape me into who I am today. And there's lots of accomplishments and learnings that I've also experienced too. I've made over £100,000 worth of recruitment sales in my first 18 months. I've traveled Asia, lived in Albania, Malaga, Cape Town, Bali. I've done over 1,000 hours of one-to-one coaching. I'm a qualified cognitive hypnotherapist, and I went through my own journey with a cognitive hypnotherapist too. And I've invested a lot of time and money into myself, right? I've done over £25,000 plus in my mindset and business education. I've done over 150 plus hours one-to-one in therapy, mentoring, mindset coaching. I've traveled to multiple countries working remotely and changed my environment on a regular basis. I'm a qualified therapist, cognitive hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and I've spent hundreds on many other courses and books and hours and hours and hours spent on the mind, on performance, business, sales, marketing, addiction, and so on. The reason why I'm sharing this is because if I hadn't had invested money into myself, if I hadn't have pulled the trigger to spend £3,000 initially on a coach, I would not be where I am today. And I want to make that super, super, super clear, because it is crucial that you understand that investing in yourself, regardless how big or small it is, right? Just investing in yourself and having the unwavering faith that you can create your reality has completely changed my life. And the reason why I wanted to record this today is because I wish I listened to a podcast or an episode or YouTube like this when I was in the midst of an addiction, right? Because I was spending hundreds of pounds per week on cocaine, on ketamine, on alcohol, on taxis, on dates, on this and this and this. And I was living week to week. And if I had heard this podcast today, it would have woken me up. It would have shook my reality just a little bit to help me understand, wow, he's right. I need to pull the trigger. So look, it comes back to having unwavering faith in yourself and in the universe that you will make it work, right? You may be currently going through a bit of a tough time in an addiction right now, but I did. And I'm now nearly 3 years sober. So if I can do it and all of my other clients can do it, so can you. But the only difference is between myself, my one-to-one clients, and the clients in the community, and potentially someone listening that is still going through an addiction today, is that we've pulled the trigger. We've invested. I spend thousands a year on my coaches and mentors and stuff, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So just sit with that and just remember that to get to where you want to be, something has to change. Don't let the mind play tricks with you. Don't let the fear play tricks with you, because we are the creators of our reality. Your thoughts shape your beliefs shape your reality. So I'm going to leave you with that today. If you feel like someone needs to hear this, please feel free to share it with them. If you want to drop me a follow on Instagram, you can find my account at the Jake O'Connor _. I'm on LinkedIn. And just an update on the one-to-one. So the doors have closed for the one-to-one for 2025, but I am taking calls for one-to-one clients in 2026. So if you're interested, drop me a message one-to-one, and we can have a conversation, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.